got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Mikey!
20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration. Dale Earnhardt will come to the caution flag to win the Daytona 500.
Yeah, the 4 cars you just saw before this, in that order, that's the starting 4 for your Daytona 500. In that order, as I said. William Byron grabbed his first career pole today, and his teammates, they were just as impressive as they got 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for the Daytona 500 starting lineup. Hendrick Motorsports in the past has had a very strong restrictor plate program, and it definitely showed today. Byron winning the pole, Alex Bowman 2nd, Jimmy Johnson 3rd, and Chase Elliott in 4th. So those 4 were definitely the fastest cars, and they are looking to be the winners of the 500. It's Rick Hendrick's 5th consecutive pole at the Daytona 500, 2015 being Jeff Gordon, 2016 Chase Elliott, 2017 Chase Elliott, 2018 Alex Bowman. So obviously, in the qualifying, they have definitely done something right, but when it comes to the race, they have not been able to capitalize. 2015 Joey Logano won the 500, 2016 Denny Hamlin, 2017 Kurt Busch, and last year Austin Dillon winning the Daytona 500. So, what you've all been waiting for, the Daytona 500 preview. NASCAR season is 1 week away. The Clash, I think it's starting in like 10 minutes from whenever this is being filmed, but it's in the going or over by this point. I'll watch that as soon as I finish publishing this video. But yeah, here we go. So, Daytona 500, restricted plate, 2.5 mile track, anything could happen. Austin Dillon won it last year, first race of the Camaro. Will the Mustang win it in its first year? There's definitely a shot. But it's definitely going to come, sometimes it does come down to speed. The fastest cars do win at these type of races at times like we saw last year at Talladega. But then again, we've seen it where crazy things have happened, and Trevor Baynes won the Daytona 500. Austin Dillon has won the Daytona 500, and he only led the last half lap. We've seen, as I said, the domination by last year by Stuart Haas. We've seen guys that have dominated the race like last year. Ryan Blaney led over 100 laps, but he didn't win. He ended up wrecking late. It's crazy. Gordon led 85 laps his last 500, and he wrecked. So you may be able to dominate the race, but you could get caught up in a late race wreck, or if you get pushed back mid-pack, you could be done for. So definitely dangerous to fall back into the big pack when it's late time and when it's go time. People are starting to get a little hectic and stuff, and wrecks start happening. So you definitely have to watch out there when you need to kind of get where you need to get. And if you are in that pack, you definitely need to be careful, because one little adjustment could just throw everything off and wreck half the field. So don't do that, and you'll be fine. No pressure. But definitely, as I watched qualifying, the strongest cars were obviously the Hendrick cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm pretty sure both rounds of qualifying. Byron won his first career pole under new crew chief Chad Knaus, who is a 7-time champion. Jimmy Johnson is now 3rd. He qualified 3rd with his first year with a new sponsor and a new crew chief. Ally Bank being the sponsor, Kevin Meandering being the new crew chief, Alex Bowman, the defending pole winner, qualifying 2nd, and Chase Elliott qualifying 4th. So these guys have been very good at restrictor plates. Obviously, Hendrick swept Daytona in qualifying last year. Elliott won the pole in the summer race, I believe, and then Bowman the 500, and then obviously the past 5 Daytona 500s they won the pole. Other notable qualifications. The RCR cars did pretty solid qualifying. Daniel Hemrick, his first year in a Cup Series car, full-time at least. Last year he ran part-time, but he qualified 5th. Him and Austin Dillon both in the top 10. Hemrick at 5th, Austin Dillon in 10th. Very strong run for those RCR cars. Last year they won this race, so looking to defend that Daytona 500 title. A little bit of a surprise, there's only one Toyota in the top 10 for the qualification, and that was Martin Truex Jr., his first year at Joe Gibbs Racing, and that's a little bit of a surprise. 3 Fords in the top 10, Joey Logano at 6, Clint Boyer at 7 or 8, my bad. 9th, Brad Keselowski, but that's qualifying for you. I could go on about qualifying all day, but I'm here to talk about the race, what could happen, what to watch for, who to watch for. So here we go. Who to watch for. I think the favorites, obviously, I go through the favorites. If you're new, I go through favorites. I go through the surprises, disappointments, and then just my prediction for who's going to win. So, favorites. I don't think I need to explain much more. The 4 Hendrick cars, all 4 of them. Byron, Bowman, Johnson, Elliott. Elliott obviously finishing the year off last year with that hot win streak, or hot end of the season with those 3 wins. And then Johnson, obviously, rough year for him last year. Bowman has a solid year, made the playoffs, but he did not win. And Byron won Rookie of the Year. They're coming in this year, and they've started off with a big hello. We're here to compete for wins and to compete for whatever we need to compete for to win championship. And so they have been they made some changes over the offseason, crew chief wise. They got some new sponsors. It's just there's a new package, and they came out the first race of the season. They said, "Hey, over here, we're gonna beat you guys." So that is a statement by Hendrick Motorsports, what they did in qualifying today. And they are definitely going to be the favorites in the race. Just like last year when Stewart Haas Racing, what they did in Talladega. I'm not saying Hendrick's going to do that, but the cars are fast enough that if they wanted to, they honestly could. But I don't think that will happen. It will be very difficult to do that again. Another favorite would be Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney. The Penske cars have been very strong at super speedways. I think I saw something that said they've won like 8 of the last 17 restrictor plate races. So they will definitely be cars to watch for. Joey Logano, the defending champion. Brad Keselowski, my championship prediction for this year. At the end of the video, I'll put it up here, my whole season preview that you can go watch. But they've done very well. And as I said earlier in this video, Ryan Blaney dominated this race last year, led over 100 laps, was caught up in a late wreck with 2 to go. And he didn't win. He was definitely disappointed. Obviously, when you do that well in a race this big and you don't win, you're going to be very disappointed that you did not take home the trophy and you were not able to finish for your team. But I definitely think the Penske cars will do very well at the 500. Some surprises I could see, as I said, the RCR cars. They had a very good qualifying session. Daniel Hemrick, his first career start in a full-time RCR car. Last year he ran it part-time. This year he will be running full-time every race in the number 8. Him and Austin Dillon are in those gold cars. I think those gold cars look really nice. I think it's going to give him a power boost. Call me crazy. It's a joke. Come on. But I think Hemrick and Dillon could definitely run top 10 all day, lead some laps, get some stage points, and definitely be contending for the win if they can stay out of trouble. So I think they'll do very well throughout this race. And then some disappointments I could potentially see. Just Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he's usually really good at these types of tracks, but he did not do that great qualifying. He qualified 18th. Just a poor qualifying session for him. And then there was someone else down here. Kyle Larson qualified 32nd. I don't know if he just wasn't trying or what was going on there, but he did not look too well in that. But yeah, obviously this type of race, everyone's packed together. Anything could happen. Anyone could wreck. Anyone could get through it. We've seen crazy things happen. We've seen Brendan Gaughan finish in the top 10. We've seen Trevor Bayne win and Bobby Labonte get second. David Gilliland, Travis Kvapil, anyone could get up there. It's a crazy race. It's a pack racing. So one wrong move could take out 20 drivers. Blocking could get you in trouble, as we saw last year. So it's a crazy race that could end up being a wreck fest. So it's really hard to predict what exactly is going to happen. But who I think is going to win, I changed this prediction. I was going to pick someone else, but after the qualifying sessions, I was very impressed. I'm not going to make the win prediction right now. I'm just going to kind of go through what I think is going to happen in the race. I think the beginning, people aren't going to be super aggressive. It usually happens at this race. The beginning of the race, there might be a spin or two just because of aerodynamically. You get some air sucked off of you, you spin off like we saw with Chase Elliott his rookie year. Guys get a little bit too close, and it's like a 2-car wreck. But I don't see anything big happening in the opening stage. The second stage, there might be a couple things going for stage points, obviously, but I don't see any huge wrecks happening until the last 100 laps, when it's really getting kind of antsy and everyone's kind of wanting to get up to the front for position so they can win and lock themselves into the playoffs and get that Daytona 500 win. But honestly, the first 100 laps I see being calm. Second 100 I can see getting a little more intense, more crazy, and especially the last 30. The last 30 is when it's going to get really crazy. If it ends up being a long green flag run, there will be pitting by most likely manufacturers, Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, or teams, just teams by themselves, JGR, Hendrick, Penske. But I don't see that happening in the end of the race. Definitely the beginning of the race, I could see that. But if it does come down to that at the end of the race, it's going to be all crew chiefs kind of trying to mic each other up, trying to figure out, hey, when do we want to pit? When do we want to go in? And when do we want to do this? So that's kind of going to be the strategic look at the race. And my pick for this race, I said he would end the winless streak by winning Dover. His first race with his new crew chief, his first race with his new sponsor. I think Jimmy Johnson gets the Daytona 500 win, his third Daytona 500. Why? Those Hendrick cars are fast. Why him out of the four? He's got the most experience. He's got the most talent. It's really hard to pick against him because he's a 7-time champion. But, man, Jimmy, I like you. I think you're going to get it done. Jimmy Johnson and that Ally Bank Chevy are going to get it done. So that's all I have for today. It's my Daytona 500 video. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to watch my season preview where I just talk about the whole season coming up, here you go. You want to see something else, some other video, probably my paint schemes video, you can go look at that right here. And then if you would like to subscribe to the channel, click on my face. That would be awesome. Just click on it like this. Yeah. Thank you for watching this video.